Hi guys, welcome to another mental health video. I am your host, Steve, and today we're going to be talking about how borderline personality disorder affects relationships between boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, things like that. I guess this could even stretch to gay relationships because it's about the same as long as you deal with the same mental health disorders. First of all, let's talk about some of the symptoms of BPD. You have your paranoid ideation. So that can include a lot of things. A friend could be staying at your house and they're worried their car's going to get towed, so they can't sleep. They're literally you wake up at 3 and they're literally looking out the window because they're nervous someone's going to tow their car. That'd be an example of paranoid ideation. So BPD women and men can go through periods of paranoid ideation. Efforts to avoid abandonment. So oftentimes they're going to break up with you first. If they have any hint that you might break up with them, they want to end the relationship so they're in control. So a lot of times they'll end a relationship for no reason whatsoever. Um, let's see here. Unstable and intense relationships. So that's what this video is about today. Identity disturbance. So they really don't have a clear idea of who they are as a person. That's where you're going to see a lot of, one day they think they're gay, the next day they're straight, the next day they have red hair, now they have blue hair, green. They really have a really hard time identifying who they are as a person. So they're going to become different people at different times. They pick you up on Monday, they decide they're a lesbian. They want to tell you all about how they just hit up a girl because they're a lesbian. And then the following Monday, they tell you they've decided to go straight. So they really have a hard time understanding who they are. And that's where the identity disturbance comes from, is really understanding who they are as a person. Impulsivity in at least two areas. This can be a lot of different areas. This could include impulsivity with sexual behavior, um, other impulsive areas of life, quit a job, get drunk and end up in jail. Those can be all impulsive things that happen on the spur of a moment. So impulsivity in at least two areas. Suicidal behavior. So these and gestures, threats. They're going to be the one that's calling you at night, telling you they want to kill themselves. Usually they don't want to kill themselves. They just want support, emotional support. But you do need to take those suicidal threats seriously, because a lot of people with BPD have actually committed suicide, unfortunately. So they really need extra emotional support, extra help, and be a good friend to them. Be like an unconditional friend. That's really what they need, is that unconditional love, because they're suffering so much in so many areas. So suicidal behavior, gestures, and ideation. Affective instability is one as well. Chronic feelings of emptiness, inappropriate, intense anger, which can include like assaultive behavior, throwing things, paranoid ideation. We talked about that briefly, but basically, you need 5 of these to be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So, how does BPD affects relationships? I think it goes back to that core symptom, the unstable and intense relationships. They're going to start the relationship off by idealizing their partner. They may jump right into the sex on the first date and get pregnant. This would be an example of love bombing. Um, have sex with their partner the first time they ever meet them, and then a couple months down the road, they may be breaking up with this person for absolutely no reason. Being attached to individuals can be very hard for people with BPD because they have suffered a lot of child abuse, sexual abuse. So their attachment styles tend to be that unattached style. So they're going to tell you, if you're dating them, often the time these women will tell you they don't want a boyfriend. They don't want you to call them your boyfriend, um, because that's all attachment. Because of their histories of abuse and stuff, they see attachment as a threat to their personal safety a lot of times. So they want to try to keep people at bay by keeping you in the friend zone, because it makes them feel safer. It makes their anxiety lesser. Um, so it can be really hard to be the partner of someone with BPD because they have all that internal stimuli going on. They have high levels of anxiety. So things that normally might not trigger, a quote unquote normal person might trigger them. Like the loss of a pet could literally put them in crisis. They could move out of someone's house over losing a pet. Things like that. Things that normal, quote unquote, normal person may not get upset about. Um, A lot of times, women with BPD will literally go from 0 to 100 over the smallest things. I was actually almost driven into a river one time in a vehicle. My BPD girlfriend was really escalating while she was driving to the point where I ended up having to walk home like 4 or 5 miles just because I didn't want to be in a car. So they can be very impulsive with their driving as well. I remember one time my BPD girlfriend drove me home drunk from the bar, speeding home from the bar, going well over the speed limit. So that's the impulsivity. Um, they disregard their safety, they disregard your safety in those moments. Um, they're just not really thinking about other people at the time of those high symptoms they're experiencing. So less communication would be the biggest problem with these boyfriend girlfriend boyfriend boyfriend girlfriend girlfriend BPD relationships. Would be the communication is really lacking in these relationships. When they go through those love hate cycles of BPD, there won't be any communication. Let's say you've been dating a woman for a few weeks. Let's say you met each other, you had sex on the first date. She told you that she wanted you to be your husband because you're the one, you're the guy, you're the only one that she thinks can put up with her. And then 3 weeks later she may break up with you for absolutely no reason. I mean, you could literally be a walking Jesus Christ and be perfect, and that BPD woman will still break up with you for no reason other than that attachment is causing such a high level of anxiety to them. To them, they feel like they're commingled with another person that can be a threat to life areas. Like let's say their money or their job or their car situation. They just find attachment really threatening to themselves. So that's why a lot of times when they start feeling that attachment, they're going to push you away, oftentimes for no reason. Um, with the boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife situation, usually how it goes is one person will, get right in their partner's face demanding something, and then the other person will withdraw. That can go both ways. So you can see how there's really a breakdown in these BPD relationships where one partner goes to the other partner with something really serious to talk about, and then the other one withdraws. And you see that a lot where the other partner will just walk away. They found that 50% of these boyfriends, so I was the boyfriend of someone with BPD. I may have antisocial personality disorder. They found that 50% of men that date these BPD women have a personality disorder. So that would be like antisocial personality disorder. It starts as conduct disorder, and then goes to antisocial personality disorder as an adult. My personal opinion, I think you almost have to be a sociopath to deal with the behavior sometimes. Sociopathic individuals at times can be quick to forgive somebody. I think that can also help with the relationship. Let's say their girlfriend pisses them off. Because they're a sociopath, they may be quick to just let it go. Sociopaths don't always hold grudges. Sometimes, given the right circumstances, they may just let something go and just not think about it anymore. So these men have their own mental health diagnoses, right? Antisocial personality is a pretty big mental health diagnosis. Um, and so it's been hard for these researchers to really understand what's going on with these dating individuals, married individuals, because only 20 to 30% of women or men with BPD are actually married or dating. So it can be really hard for that. But so the love hate cycles, I think, is the biggest challenge, which is a core symptom of BPD, is those love hate cycles in relationships. I think that's going to be the biggest thing in today's video is the love hate cycle of a BPD relationship, because they go into it idealizing their partner, and then it can be weeks, months, where they can have what's called like a trigger in their mind, which will go from a love cycle to a hate cycle. Once they get to the hate cycle, they can literally appear to be a different person. I like to call it a Jekyll and Hyde disorder, because when they're in that Hyde personality, you're thinking to yourself, does this person actually hate me? Who is this person? A week ago, this woman's on top of me having sex with me, and now she's telling me she hates me, never wants to see me again. So this is an example that a lot of these boyfriends go through. The boyfriends tend to take it personally. The husbands take it personally, which you cannot do with a BPD girl or woman, because a lot of times they may be in a psychosis, which can also happen to BPD women. They can fall into psychosis triggered by stress. And then you deal with co-occurring disorders like PTSD. I know both women that I dated with had really bad anxiety where they would just go off the handle for nothing. Um, so you're dealing with that anxiety in the relationship, which can cause major, major issues. So anyway, guys, in wrapping up this video, um, they asked a lot of these couples when they did these experimental groups, they asked them if they were happy in the relationship, and 50 to 60% of them said they were actually happy in the relationship. Um, a lot of these people tend to have an insecure attachment style, which means I think they're kind of realize what they've gotten themselves into, so they more or less have an insecure attachment, like, oh, I don't care if this relationship works or not, and they kind of have that realization with, especially once they start identifying those love hate cycles. You know a hate cycle's coming, so you almost have to brace for it as the boyfriend or husband. Same thing with a hate cycle. When you have the hate cycle happen, you know it's only a matter of time before they come running to you with a love cycle. The hate cycle can be really hard because they block you. They get their whole family against you. They may put a PFA on you or get the police after you for no reason. They can call the police on you for no reason in psychosis. Um, like 80% of women have experienced domestic violence, guys. That means like 8 out of 10 BPD girls are being physically harmed. That's not okay. It's not okay to hurt your girlfriend or your wife. Often they are experiencing that inner stimuli, which is a mental illness. Those love hate cycles are a mental illness. It's all part of their BPD. They're suffering with intense, intense anxiety. They just about jump out of their skin if they could. That's how disabling their anxiety can be. These are the people that literally you invite them to dinner. They cannot sit still. They want to just run right out the door. I mean, as a friend, you literally feel like you got to duct tape them to the chair to have dinner with them because they just can't sit still. That's the anxiety piece, right? So you have the anxiety, you have the love hate cycles, you have the demanding and the withdrawal, you have the lack of communication, which is a major feature of a BPD relationship. When these women get mad, they just shut down, which is the opposite of what you want to do to actually solve problems, right? When it makes more sense to have a calm conversation with your husband or boyfriend and try to get to the core issues so that you can solve these problems. But often these women will just ghost a man. Once they hit that hate cycle, they're going to block you. They're going to block you on Facebook. They're going to get their family after you. They're going to get the police after you, most likely. They're going to be quick to say you're harassing them. So, in the hate cycle, let's say you've been contacting them continuously. Once they get in the hate cycle, you keep contacting them. They're going to say that you're harassing them at that point. So, they really go from that extreme, great loving girlfriend to that hate cycle of like a woman that's going to take you to court and put a PFA on you. So that's why there's so much chaos in these BPD relationships because you have your intense anger as a BPD symptom. So they're going to be these women are the ones that are going to be flipping out on their boyfriend in the apartment over the littlest issues, um, assaulting their boyfriend, pushing him, throwing things around the apartment. This isn't every case, but a lot of cases. So you can see how there's a lot of chaos in these BPD relationships. And again, you add the mental illness of the boyfriend. That antisocial personality is actually considered a mental health diagnosis in the DSM. So you have two individuals. They said 50% of men have personality disorders, are dating these women or married to them. So you have two individuals with mental health issues trying to make something work. So if they don't identify, what are the symptoms of BPD? How do I work around the love hate cycles? The husband and boyfriend needs to understand it's not their fault. All the behavior from the BPD partner is not your fault. They're gonna break up with you for no reason. They're gonna, they may even divorce you for literally no reason. Literally, you've done everything right. You've been the most loving partner. And once that hate cycle triggers, they may put in divorce papers. They may put in breakup papers. And usually it's literally over no reason other than the fact that that anxiety, that attachment anxiety of being attached to another person is so strong that causing anxiety for them, are you trying to be my boyfriend? You're being too much of a boyfriend. So that attachment anxiety, because they have an inability to attach, most likely because of child abuse, they're going to be right out the door. They're going to be quick to break up. So you really have to kind of approach this new relationship. Let's say you're in a new relationship with a BPD woman. Try to approach it as a friendship, because what these women really need is they need love. They need unconditional love. They need support. A lot of times women will say, I just want to be friends. I just want a friend. What is she really saying? She's saying she wants support. She wants emotional support. She wants to be able to go on a trail with you, a hiking trail with you. Um, as far as the sexual piece goes with your partner, with your wife or your girlfriend, let them take the lead. Don't pressure them on that. There, a lot of BPD girls are like cats. So you got to let them come to you. The more you chase them, the more they're going to run, just like a cat. So the best thing us boyfriends can do in those hate cycles is just keep doing us. Keep working on yourself, self-improvement. Don't blame your girlfriend. She's mentally ill. A lot of times they fall into psychosis. They have no clue what they're doing. I had a BPD girlfriend actually spend a month in the mental hospital because she went into a BPD, full-blown BPD psychosis triggered by stress. So, guys, you can see how this can be all the recipe for a dynamic relationship. But if you guys can, if you are having a BPD girlfriend, if you can realize that they will go through those love-hate cycles. And if you can just stand by as that loving partner and just, show that unconditional love, I think that's how you win. The best thing you can do with these BPD girls is give them space when they're mad. I used to jump out of the car when my BPD girlfriend would flip out on me in the car. I would literally jump out of the car and give her space. A couple minutes would be going by, and then she'd be waving me to come back and give her a kiss. So sometimes giving those BPD girls space is super important, especially if they're breaking up with you or divorcing you. Just take a deep breath and say, this has got to be the mental illness. This has got to be her mental illness. And don't take it out on her, because it may just be that mind trigger, that psychosis. You don't know what's going on in her mind. That's why you can't take it personally as the partner. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped. We're going on 17 minutes, which is unbelievable. I didn't realize the video would be that long. So that's the recipe, guys, to have a successful relationship with your BPD partner, is that unconditional love, and just be there to stand by as that solid friend, even in the hate cycle. Stand by in that solid friendship. Just be a friend. That's what she wants. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys, is just be a friend. I'm on my first cup of coffee, so it's easy for me to get a mind boggle. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do that. Check out my merch in the description. Like this video, share it with a fellow friend. And if you're in those relationships, guys, just love on each other. Maybe give your girlfriend, your BPD girlfriend, some extra hugs and kisses. They really need it. Maybe give them extra space. Maybe go to the nail salon and buy her $100 toenail and fingernail package for your girlfriend. Doing those loving, sweet things for them where they can take space off on their own, that can really help you out a lot. You paid for a $100-$200 spa visit. Now they're away from you for 4 or 5 hours. You're home watching your favorite movie while they're out having some personal space. That can help your relationship by giving your partner that needed space, right? Because, of course, people with anxiety need more space. For BPD women, a lot of it is control. They want to be in control. So the more you can meet them halfway with that control. Hey, honey, what do you want to watch tonight? Hey, honey, we're both off tomorrow night. Where would you like to go out to eat? Having them choose the restaurant might lower their anxiety. Giving them a heads up about what's happening that night. Hey, after dinner, I was planning on taking you to a concert. Don't spur stuff like that on your BPD partner. Let them know in advance. Because of that intense anxiety, they really want to know what's going to be happening. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you. Subscribe, share, and I love y'all. Bye.